Hey guys, how are we all? I hope you're all doing really well over this Christmas period. Just a quick one really to talk about where I've been, what's been going on. It's been about 2 months now since I last did a video on this channel, AFC Game by Game, regarding Arsenal Football Club, and you know what, I have missed it. It's in a way, it's been quite nice to take a break from YouTube, to take a little step back and just watch Arsenal from a distance and have the knowing that I'm not going to go and have to talk about that dreadful and in some cases very good performance this season. So it's been good for me, but obviously on the other hand, I in a way have really missed doing these videos and I've missed interacting with you guys. One thing that I definitely want to clear out first and foremost is that, you know, I've not had anyone ask in particular, but I definitely do not want to let this channel just peter out after having gained over 3,800 subscribers, which to me is still mental, even though it's not massive in terms of a YouTube audience. To have 3,800 people want to tune in to watch what I've got to say is very extremely humbling, and it's definitely propelled me in terms of my career, so I can't thank you guys enough for that. And to build up an audience like that is unbelievably difficult in this day and age. In 2017, with so many creators out there, to be able to get that kind of audience behind you, as I say, it's not the biggest in the world, but to me it's absolutely massive, and I want to keep that going, and I want to keep producing videos long into the future. I've been doing this for 5 years now. I started it off when I hadn't long turned 16 years old. I'm 21 now, I'll be 22 in 6 months time, which is a very daunting thought. You know, to have gone into the film industry, the online creative industry, whatever you want to call it, through doing these videos has been, it's been mental. And I don't think that any education I got at school, any education I got at sixth form and even at university has given me the knowledge to go out and make this kind of content, because when I was 16 and I first started doing these videos, social media wasn't anywhere near as powerful as it is now, and the type of jobs and careers people can make through doing, you know, the kind of stuff that I've done in the past couple of years, it's incredible. And for me to you know, this year interviewed Fabian Delph, Robert Snodgrass, Steve Claridge, made a documentary for an ex-professional footballer, to, you know, to have not too long ago spoken to David Seaman just through the online videos that I've produced has been, I feel really arrogant saying all that out loud, but to give you a kind of idea of the kind of opportunities you can get from doing this sort of stuff is unbelievable. And I never thought it would have been possible when I started doing this when I just left school. And to be where I am now, graduating from university in 6 months' time, has been unbelievable. And on the note of university, that's probably been one of the major reasons that I have stopped doing these short form pieces of content over the past couple of months. It's quite simply, for some weird reason, because I go to an arts university, as they call it, my dissertation was due extraordinarily early. I'm in my final year now, and my dissertation was due on the 1st of December. So that meant through, when I went back to uni in October, through the whole of October, the whole of November, I was literally having to knuckle down on that dissertation whilst also working practically 5 days in the week and then working on the weekends for United London FC. So it's been, to say the very least, incredibly stressful. I've not had much of a social life in that regard, but to have handed in my dissertation, to have enjoyed December, I think it's been a relief. And you know, I've always questioned my decision to go to university because I've never really been too sure whether it was needed, and I think a lot of people in this social media sphere would argue that you don't need further education to get into this line of work, and to a degree you probably don't. But to have applied myself in the education sense and to have done, you know, the kind of things I've done over the past couple of years, I think it can only be a good thing. And to graduate in in 6 months' time and then go on to hopefully further my career, it's exciting, definitely very exciting to say the least. And you know, to already be kind of doing the stuff that I'm currently involved with. So at the minute I work for a company called Kids Know Best. They're a kids media company. I pretty much create all of their video content, and then on the weekends I work for United London FC, that I've mentioned a couple of times in the past, but they're the world's first managerless football club, and that's been a really fun experience working in the football sector, and then just doing loads of other freelance work in, you know, here and there. Doing that film for the ex-professional Leon Constantine, that was really fun. Doing other pieces of content for other people, building up contacts, networking, that kind of thing, meeting some great people along the way, meeting great people off of Twitter and other social networks. It's been an incredible year for me, to be honest, and I definitely couldn't have done it without you guys, because like I say, getting that audience behind me, knowing that there are people out there that want to engage in this sort of content, without that I no doubt would have not followed this career path. And as I say, online content, the video industry online is massive, and it'll only get bigger. So it's been incredible for me. And you know, that's enough about me, I think, because I can't talk about myself any longer than I think that's probably, that's too long for me anyway. But what I want to do with regards to this channel, well, I'd love to say that I'm going into 2018 with a strategy, a game plan, but to be honest, I'm not. I'm really am winging it with what I want to do here, but I want to keep producing content. That's the main thing. The big thing for me is the match reviews and previews. That's what I was known for, especially when I was doing Arsenal Fan TV a couple of years ago. People would always come to me and say, "Oh, you're the Arsenal Fan TV review preview guy," which is good, but that kind of content for me is a little bit stale, a little bit boring, and I find that, especially with a club like Arsenal, I'm repeating myself far too often than I'd like to. It's just been an odd season all round, to be honest. We've had some brilliant performances, some really poor performances. We've had some really just odd games in general where we should have won, but we've lost. It's yeah, an odd season, which is classic Arsenal. To find ourselves so far off the leaders once again is incredibly frustrating. But on a positive note, to see players like Jack Wilshere, Ainsley Maitland-Niles coming through in recent weeks, that's been a real positive for Arsenal. And those players in particular played really well. To have English players coming through, that's a big bonus for me. And I think there are glimpses of Arsenal trying to do the right thing in the backroom staff, the technical people that are coming in to help further the club, you would hope. The future does seem to be setting up for the departure of Arsene Wenger. Whether that should be happening in 2 years' time, or well, 1.5 years' time, or whether it should have happened back in the summer or a couple of summers before, I mean, that's entirely up for debate. You all know my stance on it. He should have gone in the summer because we're still seeing the same repetitive failings season upon season, and this campaign in particular, we have just you know, it's still faltering. There's still massive problems in this team. Defensively, we have just completely disregarded that. Decisions that are being made, especially in that game against Liverpool not too long ago. Why has the back three been abandoned? Why are players like Kolasinac being dropped? It's really odd, and I can't quite get my head around it at times. But that's kind of what I've become accustomed to at Arsenal in recent weeks. But back to what I wanted to talk about today. What I want to do with AFC game by game, as I say, I'm not entirely sure yet. I've got a couple of ideas in the pipeline, but I'm more than open to ideas from you guys. When I went into this season looking at AFC game by game, I really wanted to take it seriously. What I want to do with the channel is provide content that is different to what Arsenal fans are mainly provided with at the minute, and that's you know, Arsenal Fan TV, which has got some unbelievably good characters on it. It's an unbelievable platform. It's done really well this season and in the past couple of seasons, but I don't think it speaks for all Arsenal fans, and I want to provide something different, something thought-provoking, and generally create content that I think is going to engage people and be relatable. I think I did that last season through my long-form documentary, The Stagnating Giant. That got an unbelievable response, and I'd like to create more pieces such as that. And I did a piece back in the summer with Giles of the Gooner Ramble, where we looked at his time supporting Arsenal. That was a series I wanted to develop, but given time restraints, given that the night started drawing in and it got darker, I couldn't find the time to do that, sadly. But that's something I want to revisit with people like Claude, with people that, you know, we don't know their full backstory. We only know who they are on Arsenal Fan TV. We don't know their journey supporting the club. So content like that, that's the kind of stuff I want to create. And I'd also like to, at some point, bring back Cannon Chat. I know that me and Woz did it for a couple of episodes. We got about 10, 11 episodes in throughout the season, but it's definitely something that I felt was unique. Me and Woz, we had a really good understanding there, and Rob at the start of it, he was brilliant. Unfortunately, again, due to time constraints, that fell apart. But again, I think that was unique in the sense that you had three completely ordinary fans. We never had particularly big followings on social media. We were just giving our thoughts out on the club, and it did well, and people seemed to enjoy it. So again, a chat show is something I'd like to reintroduce, and any other type of content that you guys would like to see that, bear in mind, isn't too costly to produce and isn't too time restricting. That would be really helpful, because I'd love to know what you guys want to see on this channel, and hopefully we can take things that little bit further and get some good Arsenal related content out there, because at the end of the day, that's what I want to do. And you know, if this did pay me, that would be unbelievable, because I've got ideas in the locker that I could go out and produce. But again, it all comes down to, as it often does, it comes down to time. And I'll be going in January into full-time employment. Pretty much, I'll be going 5 days a week with Kids Know Best, and then I'll still be doing the United London FC stuff. So that only leaves me Sundays free. And yeah, as you can tell, that's probably not a great deal amount of time to go out there and produce content. But anyway, get your thoughts in the comments below. I definitely want to hear what you guys want to see in produce. And you know, I'm looking forward to seeing hopefully some exciting Arsenal performances in 2018. I think there's a lot to talk about. I think there's a lot that's going to happen potentially in this January transfer window. The constant name that is on our lips at the minute is that of Alexis Sanchez, a player that, you know, I've doubted heavily this season whether he's entirely committed to the club. Of course, he's still under contract, but his performances, the times that he's just given the ball away, it really brings into question the type of player he is and the type of mentality he's got. Personally, I would love to see him go to PSG. I'd love to see the guy get out of the club and us bring in someone like Julian Draxler, a younger, more determined player that can fit into this team and play a style of football that is going to be more suited to the type of football that Arsene Wenger and Arsenal want to play. Mesut Ozil's been unbelievable this season. If we could bring someone in that plays the passing game, doesn't hold on to the ball and doesn't try to do it all himself, someone like Draxler would be perfect for us. Even Nabil Fekir of Lyon, players that we should be looking to bring in that can help improve our game. Thomas Lemar, a player that we bid 90 million for back in the summer. If we could bring in a player like that, not in January, but in the summer, hopefully, we won't miss Alexis Sanchez too much. And I don't think we're particularly reliant upon him this season. Yes, he comes up with goals here and there, but with the amount of times he gives, look at that game against Liverpool, for example. I don't want to make this a whole thing about Alexis Sanchez, but you look at the goal he scored, brilliant, but then he gave the ball away, which then led to Liverpool scoring the equalising goal. He's a player that has been so hit and miss this season, and I just think we need to move on from Alexis Sanchez. But one player I certainly can't move on from is Mesut Ozil. I think he's been unbelievable this season, been unbelievable the past couple of seasons, and if we play football to his strengths, then I think we're going to see more of the best of Mesut Ozil. But anyway, guys, I won't go off on that one. As I say, just get your thoughts in the comments box below in terms of what content you want to see me produce in the year 2018. Yeah, been good to chat to you guys, and I hope that's cleared up a couple of things that you may have been wondering. But as I say, get your comments in below, drop a like on the video if you've enjoyed it, and as always, hopefully I'll be speaking to you very, very soon. See you later, guys.